So welcome to the Family House Magic YouTube channel. So today's little adventure is going to Disneyland Paris, and this video is going to show the journey all the way there and our little adventure in Disneyland Paris as well. So this first bit is at Norwich train station, and Jensen is busy wandering around exploring everywhere. So Jensen's our little 18-month-old boy, and he just loves wheels and trains and things, so it's perfect to go on a little adventure with him. There he is having a little drink. So we went all the way to Disneyland Paris with my mum and dad, Sandra and Warren, and it's me and my husband Adam and my little son Jensen, and we also met my friend Liz as well. So it was lovely to visit as a group. So we got the train from Norwich station to Peterborough and then changed at Peterborough to get to King's Cross. Here we are at King's Cross, and you can see us carrying our cases. It was a little bit of a hassle having to lug quite large cases onto the train. But we made sure that Adam, I and Jensen's stuff was all in one bag, so it wasn't too bad. King's Cross station is really lovely as well, and they've got a little thing for Harry Potter, but we didn't have time to see that. We travelled on one day and then popped to Leicester Square to have a little visit just to pass the time in the evening, because our Eurostar train was the next day. So we had a little look round at all the statues, and there you can see Liz taking a picture of Mr. Bean there. It was a bit strange because that lady didn't want to move. It was a bit embarrassing taking a photo, but still good fun. So you can see Mary Poppins, and there was lots of other sort of acts around Leicester Square as well, which was interesting to see. Mum stayed in the hotel room because she was a bit shattered from the train journey, and we also saw Harry Potter. So we walked back all the way to King's Cross, and we stayed at a hotel which was the Travel Lodge. So good morning, we're at King's Cross, and that's the Travel Lodge in King's Cross Central. We stayed the night last night in order to be up early to go on the Eurostar tomorrow. So I took a little bit of footage of us travelling. You're excited, aren't you, Jensen? You can see, hello Adam.
Hello.
Hello Jensen. Hello. Yeah, and we had a travel cot last night, which was good. We stayed in a family room. It is in a bit of a mess because we haven't tidied up, but we're packed, ready to go. So this is a little bit of footage we took on the Eurostar. So on the way out, oh look, he's asleep, bless him. We actually did the standard Premier seats, which were a little bit more spacious, which was really nice with Jensen. And then you could see my mum and dad on the seats behind us. My friend Liz actually sat on a separate coach to us because she booked separately. But we met her at the other end. But it was really nice to have a little bit of extra space on the train so that I could do a bit of knitting and Jensen could play around and have a little bit more room to move anyway. There was an issue with the food in that I asked for a low-fat version for me, and they actually gave me something that wasn't low-fat. But the food that you get with the standard Premier is just like a croissant and things. It's nothing major anyway, but it was a nice little treat sort of thing. Of course, if you didn't have the low-fat version like I did. Jensen really enjoyed looking out of the window and watching all the scenery around outside, which was absolutely lovely. You can see him waving at Nanny around the side of the chair as well, which was lovely too. And I think I recorded a little bit of audio on this section. Most of the time I wasn't able to capture audio because it was a bit noisy.
Jensen, look at Daddy. Hello. Yeah, we're in France.
Bonjour. That's what you got to say, Jensen. So when we arrived in France on the Eurostar, we did actually get a straight through train all the way from King's Cross right to Disney itself, which was really brilliant. But I think they're stopping that in June, so I'm afraid it's not going to be as easy in the future. I think you'll have to change over at Lille in future after June, I think. And you can see that I filmed the first moments as we got into Disney. On the first day it wasn't brilliant weather, but it soon brightened up a few days later. We've arrived. Look at these hotels. So we're staying in the Sequoia Lodge and we're making our way over there. So we are now in our room in Sequoia Lodge. We've got a cot all ready for Jensen to sleep in, all set up. And it's a lovely room. People quite often say that the Sequoia Lodge is quite sort of dated and a bit scruffy, but I think it's just the style of the rooms. They look quite sort of tidy to me, and they've got nice little details of the reindeer on the lights. And then if you look at the border around the top of the room, there's some Disney characters as well from Bambi. And then we've got a lovely view of the lake out the window, which is really nice. And you can see this side of the room. I've been feeding Jensen, so he's got some of his food there and his potty ready to use. And we've got a little welcome thing on the screen. So we're all set up. There's Dad, say hello.
Hello, hello.
So Dad and Mum are staying in a different room, but there's a sink just here, a place for you to put your suitcase, hanging space. There's even a little safe to put things in, and you've got your bathroom just through here. And they've got cute little Disney themed products. How lovely. And you've got your little toilet just around the corner behind the door, so thought you might want to see that. But they're nice, actually good sized rooms, and we'll be able to go and get something to eat now. So this is the front of the hotel, and you've got lots of lovely greenery, and actually at the back of the hotel there was a lot more trees as well, which is lovely. You can even hear the birds singing, and the sun is shining. What more could we ask for? Over there is the Newport Bay, which is another hotel we could have stayed in. That one's a little bit more expensive, so we went for the Sequoia Lodge. So this is some footage of us going into the bigger park, which is the main Disneyland park, and you can see how lovely the street is as you're walking through the sort of entrance section. It's the 30th anniversary for Disneyland Paris, that's why there's 30 logos everywhere. It's been there for 30 years.
But she was like just screaming, so not today. Too many different things for her. I mean, at the very same day, you know.
Yeah.
Too much.
Yeah, too much.
We've only been here an hour or so he's all right at the moment.
That one is
I think it's only natural.
You didn't like the bell. It's really frightened of.
Yeah. You ready? You ready? You ready? Excited.
So the carousel was the first ride we managed to get on, and we met a lovely French man and his daughter, which was lovely because Jensen was chatting away to her. Jensen was actually a little bit scared of the bell, which was odd, but he seemed to not be frightened of most other things on the rides and things, so that was good. It was really nice to see his face when he was looking around at all the characters and things. You can see here in the background is the castle, and the actual buildings in Disneyland were just brilliant in the Paris one. We've been to the California and the Florida ones before, and it's just got a sort of different feeling to those castles. It's prettier, I think. It's starting to get evening in this particular clip, and the castle just looks absolutely gorgeous. I did take some footage over a few days, and I've just put them together. So this is one of the evenings that we were walking around, where we could see all the actual buildings are lit up, which was really nice. And I think that I go on to the next day now.
It does that?
Yeah.
Does it tilt at the bottom? Oh!
Congratulations, you were fabulous. Please remain seated until your magic carpet comes to a complete stop. Gather your personal belongings and follow the exit signs to clear the set.
Did you enjoy it? Did you like it? Was it fun?
Yeah.
So this is the Walt Disney Studios park where we just showed me, Liz and Jensen on the Aladdin ride. And there you can see Tower of Terror. This park was actually quite a lot smaller than the other park, and there wasn't a massive amount there apart from the Avengers section, which you'll see some clips on in a little bit. And we had some snacks that were sort of Disney themed, a Groot cookie, and then some cookies with little stars on, which were supposed to be for the 30th anniversary. And Mum had a taste of these, and she was supposed to be doing a review. And you can see Jensen having his dinner as well.
Sachez que ce sont ces valeurs qui régissent tout ce que nous entreprenons. Tradition, honneur, force, courage et compassion. Ensemble, faisons honneur à nos valeurs. Wakanda forever!
So you just saw the Wakandans doing a display in the Avengers campus, obviously, and then there was the Black Widow doing some acrobatics at the top of the building up here, which went on for quite a few minutes actually, and there was a little bit where Spider-Man was included in it as well, and it was very impressive actually how they were all jumping around and choreographed fighting. And then because we were in the Avengers campus area, we went to Pim Kitchen for dinner. We did have to book this. We pre-booked it on the app, which I downloaded a couple of months before we went over to Disney.
Look, Jensen, they're making a big apple. It's just like New York City.
You can see Jensen liked looking around at all the things going on in these sort of themed restaurants. So the Pim Kitchen was an all-you-can-eat buffet style type of restaurant, and you could basically pick whatever you wanted, which was ideal for me because at the moment I can't eat a lot of fat. So I was able to pick all like the salad stuff and the less fatty foods off the buffet and not have to worry about asking about what's in each sort of meal or whatever. So the theming of the restaurant was brilliant. You could see pictures on all the walls, and the actual pillars of the room were all like hexagon, like Ant-Man and the Wasp, from the movie Ant-Man and the Wasp. And there was quite a nice range of food as well actually. Jensen enjoyed using some coloured crayons on a paper, and Dad was thinking that this was a photograph when I took that video of him, bless him. So we then went to the Ratatouille area of the Walt Disney Studios park, and we did actually go on the Ratatouille ride. Jensen didn't go on this one because I was a bit worried about him being a bit overwhelmed by everything being huge, but he did go on a few other rides. I actually went on this as well as Adam. It's part of the Toy Story area, but it's quite a wild ride for the young children, so more for the adults really. But it was only me and Adam went on it out of our party. Mum and Dad and Liz didn't fancy it, but it was good fun. I don't think you can actually see me or Adam on the ride, but I did try and film the actual ride that we were on. So we then walked up through the Toy Story area, and there was a Slinky Dog ride, which was a sort of a roller coaster but in a circle. So Jensen actually went on that as well, but I don't think I took any footage. There was a couple more Toy Story themed rides. We didn't actually go on the parachutes one, but that looked quite fun. But I am quite scared of really high heights, so it's not something that I really fancied. Although I'll go on roller coasters, so you know. You can see Mum and Dad watching the rides. Mum and Dad didn't go on lots of things, but Dad actually did go on Pirates of the Caribbean, which I don't have any footage of, but that was good fun. So Adam has just been on the Ratatouille ride doing the single rider, so he just ran back to us. Here's some more footage of some of the other children's rides. We didn't actually go on that, and we didn't get to go on Crush's Coaster as well, but that looked quite good. This is when we were leaving the Walt Disney Studios park. I must admit there's not an awful lot of stuff in the Walt Disney Studios. Most of it is in the other main park. And the next day we actually went to the main park. We spent one day in the Walt Disney Studios park, and then we went over to the Disneyland park, the main park, and look at this hotel. It's absolutely gorgeous. The flowers and the waterfalls at the front are just absolutely spectacular, and I think Mum and Dad were very impressed with this. You can see that the weather has perked up quite nicely, and we got some lovely, lovely blue skies. You can see Liz and I posing for a photograph. Poor Liz, I think she thought it was a photograph and I was videoing, and I'm very embarrassing and showing dodgy clips of us waving at the camera. And then when we got in, already Mickey and Minnie were waving and singing at the front of the park, so that was really nice. Everyone was sort of cheering at them and waving at Mickey and Minnie, and Jensen really loved it as well, so that was good. I was a bit worried he'd be scared of all the people dressed up. Liz is going to kill me for this, but this is me and her singing along to the Disney music. Oh dear. What have you got there, Mum? What have you got? You can talk, it's a video, I said. When you can tell us what it tastes like. What do you think?
Oh, the ice cream is absolutely lovely.
I've got an apple. That's not fair, is it? So I have cut out the audio on some of these clips because there's some music and I'd be charged for copyright on those. So I've cut out the audio and you've got me talking over them instead. This is one of our favourite rides. It was so pretty. It was a little boat ride. Mum loved it as well, and Dad. And they don't like things that are too sort of energetic, and I think Jensen loved it too. Look at his little face. It was so lovely seeing the little models with all the different characters from the different programs. There were actually some clips of the music as well from the different stories, which was really nice, but I obviously can't show that because of copyright. You can see the Peter and the Wolf area. There is signs to say which of the stories that each of the scenes are from, and I think this one's Maleficent over the other side. Yeah, there we go. So there's the Maleficent scene, and they're just gorgeous little models. You can see Mum taking some photographs there on the top of Dad's head. But it was such a lovely sunny day as well. We were so lucky with the weather. I definitely say this is one of our favourite rides, and I definitely recommend walking across to sort of the other side of the park to make sure that you have a go on this. It's now going into the Aladdin section, into the cave, where you can see some jewels in there. But it was difficult to sort of film because it was all dark inside. This area is from Beauty and the Beast. You can see Belle by the well. I think you sort of miss the nice feeling it gives you with all the music with the different films as well. So they had Beauty and the Beast music playing, and it was just such a nice atmosphere. And now we're on to the teacups. Jensen loved the teacups. Adam and Jensen and I were in one teacup, and Liz and my mum and dad were in another one. I'm not quite sure whether you could see us actually waving at them, but Jensen really enjoyed himself. The queues for Disneyland Paris didn't seem quite as long as the ones we've experienced in Florida before, where I think they were sort of on average about 20 minutes, which wasn't too bad, but still quite a long time for an 18-month child. Another one of my favourite rides, and Mum and Dad loved this one as well, was the boat. And you could basically go all the way around the lake, and it showed all the different rides around it, and there was also different scenes that you couldn't see from anywhere else in the park as well, so that was really lovely. Just behind the boat was Big Thunder Mountain, so you can see later on they'll show some footage of actually the train running along Big Thunder Mountain. Jensen absolutely loved just waving at everybody, and was a little bit cross when people didn't wave back. So you could just about see the park in the background, but we didn't actually get to the play park, but something that we'd want to do next time, I think. But there were so many other things to do. This is just some footage of the inside of the boat. There's some seating areas in there if you don't want to stand and look around and wave at the people. And Jensen absolutely loved this train going past. He absolutely loves trains and wheels and things, so that was something that he was really excited about, and you could see that from the actual boat. We didn't actually go on the train around the outside just because we just ran out of time. We could have done with an extra day or two, I think. We were there from Monday to Friday, and we managed one day in the Walt Disney Studios park, and then the other 3 sort of days we spent in the bigger park as well. Here we go, we've got back to Big Thunder Mountain, and I managed to get some footage of the train going round. I have been on Big Thunder Mountain in California and Florida, but we didn't get to go on it this time, but I do recommend that for somebody who likes a sort of quite a fast ride, but it's not too fast, if that makes sense. So somebody who hasn't done a lot of roller coasters, I'm sure would be absolutely fine on that one. So this is the view from the Haunted Mansion, actually, where you queued up. I was looking after Jensen while the others went on this, but Adam took this footage for me, which was brilliant. And you could see Big Thunder Mountain, and I didn't actually get any footage from the Haunted Mansion itself, just because it was really, really dark. Here are one of the parades. They were so much fun. Everyone was sort of dancing and singing along, and it was just a fantastic atmosphere. Jensen loved it, even though he couldn't sort of see that much from where he was. He was sort of playing in his pushchair or walking along the floor. But it was really nice to see all the characters and all the people dancing around, and it was just a really nice atmosphere. And another great clip of the castle, which is wonderful. You can actually see quite well from where we were. We were just on the edge of where all the centre portion is, where all the parades and the dances were going on. But if you really wanted to, you could make sure you were stood right in the centre there, and you'd get a brilliant view. So this is underneath the castle itself. They had a walking through area, but you could also go upstairs, and there was tapestries and stained glass windows all around, which were lovely to look at, really well made and beautiful inside. And there was also a shop underneath as well that you could go and buy things. There was a Christmas shop as well, but I didn't see any Christmas decorations that I really wanted, so I was looking for one that was like a castle, but they didn't really have it. Here is the spinning wheel. I thought very good for craft related content. That's related to my other channel, Craft Ice Magic. And here is those really impressive stained glass windows. So this actually, you could walk out to the other side of these. That's why you can see people onto the balcony and look out over onto the view from the castle from the back. And you can see here the view out of the back of the castle. And there's the carousel that we went on the first ride when we arrived. It wasn't actually too busy, I don't think, the park. I didn't feel like I was surrounded by too many people. There was still plenty of room for everybody, which is good.
No eating the cucumbers.
This is one of our favourite rides. It's a small world, very iconic in the Disney community. Jensen just loved the water and everything, so it was lovely for him to experience this. He absolutely loved it. And you can see Mum in the side there taking a little video of the ride itself. But it was really nice how you can see all the different characters from different places around the world, and it includes more of the Disney characters as well, whereas originally it just focused on the little small world people from different places around the world. There's a bit of London. Go all the way to France and we've got footage of London. There's Punch and Judy. And then we've actually gone back later in the evening to go and watch the fireworks. Now the fireworks didn't start till 11 o'clock in the evening, so we walked back when Jensen was asleep to come and watch the fireworks. They were quite impressive actually. The best thing about them, well, not actually the fireworks, it was the drones that were actually flying around the castle. And this was sort of preceding any of the proper fireworks. So in a moment you shall see some of the actual drones in the sky that form like the 30 for the 30th anniversary, and I think that there's some Mickey Mouse shapes as well. So a lot of this is mainly projections onto the castle itself, but those are actually drones in the sky, which is absolutely brilliant. They were just so coordinated, we couldn't believe it. And it was well worth watching just for the drones part. I don't think that there was actually that many fireworks themselves, but there was a lot of projections onto the castle. We were stood right back nearly at the entrance there, because we didn't get there till about 10:30 I think, because they started about 11, so we didn't get there early enough to get really, really close. There you can see those drones again, aren't they brilliant? I did take quite a bit of footage of all the different sections of the fireworks and projections and things, but it went on for over half an hour, so there was a lot there. Luckily it wasn't too cold, so that was good. Jensen actually slept the whole way through the fireworks, even though they were actually blaring out music really, really loud. But he slept right the way through it. I think he was so tired from enjoying himself during the day, he just didn't have any energy left. And there we've got some more footage of the drones, which was so impressive. That was absolutely brilliant. I'm not quite sure how long they'll be doing the drone show for. Well, at least the same one as this, because it's obviously the 30th anniversary. So this is coming up to the end of the show, where they have like a finale of all the fireworks, which was just a brilliant atmosphere. And back the next day, Jensen's on this little train. Now this was quite a bit faster than I thought it would be. It's supposed to be for little kids, but I was having to hold on quite nicely. Jensen looked a little bit concerned on some of the turns, but I think he was alright. He wasn't shaking or anything. It was only when I saw the footage in the video that I thought, oh, he looked a little bit concerned. Here we are having some lunch. We got some Mickey shaped pizzas. You cannot go to Disney without having some Mickey shaped pizzas, although if you notice I've got salad again. Jensen is asleep. Obviously we're wearing him out with all this Disney stuff. What's that?
What?
What's that you're eating, Adam?
It's a Mickey ice cream. 30th anniversary one.
Where's mine?
No.
Oh, that's just not fair.
Ice cream.
So this is one of the rides that I've not actually been on before, and this was the Indiana Jones ride. And I think I took this footage, so Adam was on the actual ride as I was filming, but I don't think you can see him at all. But it's quite a fast ride, and it does shake around a lot. I found that it made my head bang onto the pillow on the side of my head quite a lot, so not one to do if you have headaches or anything like that, but still good fun. It felt like you're on one of those train carts going fast through mines. These were absolutely gorgeous pieces of artwork. They were dotted all around the sort of central area of the main park. There was loads of little areas that you could sit and just relax. And there's some more footage of these beautiful pieces of artwork that people have created. There's Ariel. I think that might be Sleeping Beauty on there. And some more footage of the castle. So normally you could actually visit the dragon at the bottom of the castle, but it was closed when we were visiting. So we went several times to see if it was open, but it wasn't. They must be doing something to it, or it's either that or something to do with the strikes that were going on at Disney by the workers. But it didn't really affect us that much, which was good. Here's Jensen looking at a wheel. He loves wheels. This is just a stand actually to buy popcorn from, and it's obviously set in a vehicle, and Jensen just loved this wheel. He was there for quite a few minutes. So I thought I have to film it because it's very, very cute. This was our last day now. We were able to put our suitcases in storage in the hotel and then come to the park for half a day before we had to then travel home. So we think we were getting the Eurostar about 6 o'clock in the evening, so we were able to have nearly a whole day at the park, and then we're travelling back on the Eurostar. We actually had standard class on the way back, and there was quite a lot less room in the seats and everything, so it was quite nice to have that standard premiere on the way. For some reason the standard premiere was a lot cheaper on the way, and it was a lot more expensive on the way back, so I think it was only about £20 or £30 more for the standard premiere on the way, so that was nice to treat ourselves. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you'd like to see more, and there will be more future videos on our little adventures on our holiday and days out and just days at home. Thank you for watching. Bye.